via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming and YouTube. Keep your microphones mute for a clear streaming. Understanding leads to transcendence. There are two words, understanding and following. Understanding leads you to the beyond mind and imitation. Following implies imitation. When you follow or imitate, it keeps you within the domain of the mind, domain of duality and conflict. Because you are following, you are imitating. Imitating or following has never led anyone beyond the mind and any kind of duality. Chuang Tzu, one of the Taoist masters, he used to watch monkeys, and he was deeply interested in monkeys because monkeys are the forefathers of man. Monkeys are the forefathers of a man, and a monkey is hidden in you as well, in each one of you. This whole world is nothing but a monkey mountain. All around is monkey, and out of that a verb comes in monkeying. What is the characteristic of a monkey? What is the deepest character in a monkey? Monkey copies. Monkey copies. I have heard a trader was plying his trade. He had passing through a village. When he came outskirts, he wanted to take some rest. He had a cap on his head and he was trading in caps. And it happened, he rested his bag under the tree and went to take a rest. He was tired, fell asleep. When he wake up, his bag of caps were empty, and all around on the trees there were monkeys, and each one of them had a cap on his head. Monkey saw the man with a cap on his head, and they searched. The bag had the caps, and each monkey had a cap on its head. Now the trader was in a quandary what to do, how to get the caps back from them. He used his intelligence. There was no way for him to run behind each monkey to get the cap. If he had done this, that would have been the most foolish thing, and monkey would have climbed higher on the tree. He took off his cap and threw it. As he did, each one of the monkey took off the cap and threw it on the ground. And when the monkeys threw the cap on the ground, he collected them all. This is the characteristic of a monkey. It is copying. Gurdjieff used to say that you cannot become a man unless you stop being a monkey, unless you stop monkeying. Certainly he was right. Someone asked him, what is the deepest characteristic of a monkey? His reply was copying and imitation. You look at it, this is what each one of us does. Knowingly or unknowingly, we think that copying is one of the easiest and most precious worship. The way. When I was small, there were people of my age around, and we were living in the house where my uncle was the Sufi master and few others. So we started imitating him in his mannerisms. So I was very fortunate in the sense that my grandmother Nani was around me. She will immediately pick up any kind of thing like this, and she will, in her own way, a stern way, tell me. She will say, do you know what does he do? First, understand what he does. When water is offered to him, he will hold the water in his two hands put together. He will cast his glance on the water as if sending the energy to the water. And then he may say a prayer. So the prayer is always you rotate your head in a clockwise manner. There are 4 directions. Right, up, left, down. And these are the 4 directions where you gather the energy or you send it. All the other directions come in between. So there is a Sufi prayer. Ya Fattahu to the right. On top, Ya Razzaku. To the left, Ya Bahabu. On down, Fattahu, Ya Razzaku, Ya Bahabu, Ya Allah. To the right, Ya Fattahu. Fattahu means let there be victory. Ya Razzaku, it comes from the word rizq. My sustenance should come from you. Ya Bahabu, Ya Allah. When you say Ya Allah, each time when you turn your head, you are sending the energy in each direction. And when it comes to the below, you are sending the energy either to the earth. The term is used zarab, on the ground, or your heart center, or your navel center. So he will do that. We do not know, we only see you doing so. So we do that. My grandmother, in a way it was a scolding. Do you know what does he do? And you just following like a monkey? It's not going to help. Try to understand what he does. So as the awareness grew, I realized that the 2 hands are the storehouse of the fingers, 5 fingers. The energy moves through the fingertips, ends of the nerves. So when you are bringing the 2 hands together, you are bringing the right hemisphere of the brain and the left hemisphere of the brain together. Joining together, you are not half, instead you are total. The left hand and the right hand is put together. This is the way of greeting. I greet you in this way. And you would see in videos of Osho, comes here, he brings his hand like this, and then he brings the two hand palms together, holds it. So that means he has established inner oneness, and then he will do this and share the energy that is flowing out of him. Without knowing this, all those people who are conducting the shivers of Osho, I'm sure none of them know this, what it is then. So he has the glass in his hand, metal, which is a good conductor of the energy, electricity. Energy is electricity. He is putting them together. So that means the harmony that is there within is being transferred through the metal container to the water. And when he is casting his vision into it, the energy is flowing from all the directions into it. And then this whole process will finish in 30 to 45 seconds, and then he will drink the water. This is understanding. And at a time, the normal water has the energy level on a scale of 0 to 10 is 2. So we are drinking the water at the level when its energy level is 2 below. Its energy level supposed to be optimum. 10 is on a scale of 0 to 10, it is 10. 10 means infinite. So you can raise the energy of the water or the food that you are eating to the optimum level, then it becomes a healing. So one day it happened, I was visiting my friend doctor, who is the doctor of the alternate medicine, and his treatment is at the energy level. Because it is, if your energy level is strong, just as if your immune system is strong, nothing can attack you. So I told him as an experiment, I said, I will hold the water in my hand and I will cast a glance, look at it for a few minutes, and then you check its energy level. So we could not find a metal cup. So instead I had a plastic cup. I transferred the water from the bottle into it, held it in my hand, and let him test it. Its energy level raised to 9 from 2. Just when your eyes are not moving, you are looking at the water or content or the food or whatever it is, your energy is being transmitted to it. We forget the whole process, how does it happen, and we take the mantra, we take the verses from Quran or somewhere else, or the way Christians do, but that becomes mechanical. When you are transmitting the energy to the water or the content, food or anything, it's a totally different process. So through that, the understanding has come to me. Monkey is a perfect imitator. What have you been doing your whole life? You have been a man or a monkey. You imitate. You just look around and you following. You become false. You see somebody walking in a certain way, you try to walk that way. Somebody is wearing a particular style of clothes, You would like to have that outfit. That is what all those people who are conducting the shiva, they put on. Osho will wear the socks. He was wearing it for a certain reason, but they consider that is the way the master works. It is erroneous. You would like to have that outfit. Somebody has got a car. You would like to have that car. Indeed, everything is just imitation. You never look at what your need is. And if you do look at your need, life can become a blissful existence because needs are not much. Imitation will lead you on a path which reaches nowhere in the end. Needs are not much. Needs are always few. If you look at your needs, you can be satiated easily. Contentment is easy because what is needed? Few are the needs. But if you imitate, then millions of unnecessary needs crowd all around. They gather all around. And there is no end to them because there are millions of people and you would like to imitate everyone so that you can be superior to all of them. It becomes almost impossible. You start living everybody's life and then you forget that you were here to do your own things. Instead, you have become an imitator. You are here to fulfill your own destiny, and that destiny is individual. It is nobody else. This existence has given you birth to fulfill a particular destiny which cannot be fulfilled by anybody else. Each flower, each seed comes with a destiny. A rose will blossom into rose. If proper nourishment is given, its flower will be of a different dimension, beauty and fragrance. Otherwise it will be a dwarf. No Buddha, no Jesus can do it. Only you can do it, and you are imitating. That is why Hindus say that unless you stop imitation, you will be thrown again and again into existence, and that is the theory of rebirth. You will be thrown again and again unless you fulfill your destiny and your innerness flowers. You will have to come back again and again. How can you flower if you imitate? If a rose begins to imitate marigold, can rose remain a rose? You see a musician and you want to be a musician. You see an actor acting and you want to be an actor. People see the movie stars and actors. They imitate their dialogues, the style of clothes, and all these things. You see a doctor, you want to be a doctor. You want to be everything except yourself. And that is all you can be and nothing else. Nothing else is possible. And nobody else is like you, so nobody can become your ideal. Love a Buddha. Buddha is beautiful, but never imitate, else you will miss your own flowering. Jesus is wonderful. Indeed, Jesus is wonderful. But he is needed no more, because he has come into existence to fulfill his destiny, and through that to show to the existence something. he is fulfilled. And through him existence is also fulfilled. That work is complete. He has come to a flowering. That is why whenever a person has flowered, he never comes back. Love Jesus, but there is no need to be an imitator. Otherwise, you will end up unfulfilled, in misery and anguish. You cannot really follow anyone. You can take the hints, but you have to be alert. Hints should not become the blind imitations. I saw him how he does. I was told to try to understand. And it is very easy. When you are flowing within the energy field of the Master, the understanding begins to come to you. But if you follow his words, his ways and means, then nothing can happen. You will miss everything. If you see a Buddha, try to understand how he has flowered. Use this hint. Use this as a hint that a Buddha has blossomed. But do not go for more than anything else. Try to understand how he has flowered and use this as a hint. What are the methods? What has he been doing? Try to understand the essence of it. And let that understanding be absorbed in your very existence. By and by, you will start feeling your path. You will be seeing it all around. It will never be like Buddha's. It can never be. Certainly it will be absolutely different path. But absorbing Buddha will help. You are absorbing instead of imitating Buddha. You will have to grow in your own way. You have to walk on your own feet. Only then you can cover a distance. But absorbing him will make you more and more understanding. Remember, absorbing the energy field of the Master, of the Buddha, will bring more and more understanding in you. That is the difference between an authentic disciple and a follower who is false. Be an authentic disciple, not a follower. A disciple is something completely different from a follower. And I would like to tell you to be a disciple, not the followers. Disciple is a rare phenomenon. Followers are dime a dozen and they are useless. Disciple is a rare phenomenon. The word disciple comes from discipline. What is discipline? Discipline is learning. The root word of discipline comes from learning. It is nothing to do with self-control. Discipline is not self-control. Discipline comes from the root word learning. A disciple is one who is ready to learn. A disciple is one who is ready to absorb. A disciple is one who is open and receptive. A disciple is one who is ready to become a womb. He is not antagonistic and he is not fighting and arguing. Instead, he is ready to become the womb where the growth can happen. He is trying to understand. And when you try to understand, the head stops functioning. The head stops functioning because the head can do two things. It can either fight or follow. It can either be a blind follower or a blind enemy, but it can never be a disciple. A disciple is a totally different phenomenon because he is not head-oriented. Mind it. Disciple is not head-oriented. Instead, he is heart-oriented. He loves the master, he absorbs him, and then goes on his own way. It is a very indirect and very delicate process. It is not direct. You cannot just look at the master and do whatever he is doing. That is imitation. Then you will become a follower. You cannot learn the words and start repeating them. Then you will become a follower. Then the effort is coming from the head, and head creates all problems. Whenever you are not fighting and not in search of somebody to imitate, your consciousness falls from head to heart. From suluk, it comes, the energy moves to the heart center, kalb. This is in Sufi terminology known as the heart center is invoked. It is active now. As such as you are, your heart center is not active. It's only the mind. The head is active. Then you are open. Then you are simply in love. And that is what is meant by the word, beautiful word, Shraddha. There is understanding, and out of that understanding, you are in tremendous love. It is not faith, it is not trust. It is neither belief nor disbelief. Never think trust or faith to be belief. It is not. Both belief and disbelief comes from the domain of the head. Trust belongs to the heart. It has nothing to do with belief or disbelief. Believing or not believing is not the concern at all. You simply love for no reason. You see a rose flower. Do you believe in it? Or do you dislike it? Or do you disbelieve it? Do you believe in the rose flower or disbelieve in it? You do not do anything. You simply look at it because rose flower is existential. It is beautiful. It has flowered. A fragrance and beauty surrounds it. Fragrance and beauty surrounds it. Nobody is a follower. Nobody is against. The sun rises in the morning. What do you do? Are you a believer or disbeliever? Or do you follow the path of the sun the whole day because you are a follower? Either way, you will go mad. You simply enjoy, you absorb the morning sun, the warmth of the sun, the freshness of it, the youngness of it, the newness of it. With the sun, everything becomes alive. The flower starts opening its petals. The day breaks. You enjoy the very life and become more alive through the rising of the sun. You look at a rose and something of the rose reaches to your heart. Its beauty, its fragrance captivates you. Outside, the rose is flowering, and inside the heart, something starts flowering in you. You reach a master, a Buddha, or a Jesus, or a Chomsu. What do? Do exactly as you would do with a rose or with the sunrise. There is no need to follow. No need, not, no need to follow. Just absorb the energy as it manifests in myriad ways. His gestures, his words, or whatsoever it is. Jesus' last word to his disciples were very significant. Eat me. Let me be your drink and your food. Let me flow in your blood and absorb me. Very significant statement. Eat me and let me be your drink and your food. Let me flow through your blood, in your blood, absorb me. When he says eat me, that means absorb me, digest me. Do not follow outwardly. Digest me. And then you have your own light. A real master never gives you rules. Instead, he gives you the eye, the vision. He never shows you the path, never says that this is the path and follow it. He simply gives you the light and says, now take the light and go into the darkness. Take the light and go into darkness. And light will show you path, but discover your own path. A false master always gives you a map, a road map. This is the map. He says, but do not go astray. Follow this map. He never gives you the light. If you have the light, then there is no need of map. There is no need to pass through the walls. You will discover the door on your own to come out of the house. And everybody else's path is going to be different because everyone is a different person. Totally different person. Let this understanding go deep into your heart. There are no two persons similar. Christians keep on saying Jesus is coming. This is absolutely wrong. Jesus cannot come because he has blossomed. He has attained to his fruition. Existence is not repetitive. Existence has not yet exhausted. Existence has not yet exhausted. It goes on flowering in a new uniqueness every moment. Goes on blossoming in uniqueness. Everyone is extraordinary. No need to prove it to anyone. You are extraordinary, and that is what is important. A rose is extraordinary. It's unique. A rose is a rose, and a marigold is marigold. Neither of them imitate the other. If you want to prove, you will become a monkey, not a man. Stop copying. It is easy to copy, but it is very difficult to understand, so we choose the easiest path. That is why one copies, because it is so easy. Just a rule has to be followed. You need not have any understanding about it. A clear-cut rule is given to you and you follow it. People are interested in clear-cut rules so that they can follow. Give me the easy way and I can follow that. They are saying we are not going to grow. We are going to become, we are not going to get mature on our own. You simply give us a clear-cut rule, what to eat, what not to eat, when to get up early in the morning, when to go to the bed. Just give us a clear rule. That is what commandments are, so that we can follow. You want to become a monkey, not a man? You have to decide. A man will never ask for clear-cut rules. He will ask for understanding so that he can find his own way, so that he can move in the wide world. He need not to have a map with him, no need for any compass. Just your inner light will show you the path. Just your inner light will show you the path, and there is beauty because there is freedom. When there is freedom, when there is no freedom, there is no beauty. Beauty is the fragrance of freedom. When there is no freedom, there is no beauty. Bondage and slavery is the ugliest thing in the world. Beauty is the fragrance of freedom. Beauty is the essence of understanding. Understanding leads you to your inner flowering, not copying. Understand, and you will go beyond. You will have the light. You will the light unto yourself, up, deep, above. Be a light unto yourself. And that comes only through understanding, by absorbing the energy field of the Master. By absorbing the energy field of the Master. Absorb the energy field of the Master. Only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow, take care and do have a pleasant day.